My brain and mindset are really freaking weird. 'Cause I have a lot of random thoughts about things I probably shouldn't even think about at all. How I would describe myself is having an existential crisis at the age of 13. What is my life again? I'm not even joking. Like, I remember one time I burst out into tears because I was thinking about, you know, getting buried alive. And it just randomly happened. I was thinking about a cat. I'm not even joking. I was literally just thinking about something unrelated about a cat, and then all of a sudden, sadness. It's so weird how my thoughts can dart to one thing to the other with no segue, but each thought is weirder than the last one. And how I would describe the different parts of my brain is based on what I think about. Like, for instance, the optimistic side, the one that says you'll succeed at anything. The pessimistic side that says you're gonna fail, dang it. The weird side of my brain that says things like, hey, a flying block of cheese, isn't that funny? The dark side of my brain. Well, it's not exactly... It's a mix between the pessimistic side, but the dark side of my brain is more just really creepy. It's more like, hey, look at that spider. You want to eat it? Of course, I don't actually think that. I don't say I want to eat a spider. It's more like just really creepy. That's how I would describe it. And I can divide these into two categories, the happy and the sad. The sad is the dark and the pessimistic side of my brain. When they mix together, they think of death, which is not what I want to think about when I'm watching a funny video or just breathing. And then there's the happy, then there's the optimistic and the weird side of my brain. Yeah, when they mix together, it comes up with really freaking weird jokes, like the birthday cheese man video I came up with. Yeah, where a guy's house gets invaded by a talking block of cheese with arms and legs wearing a party hat. Yeah, so... And sometimes there's a war going on between the brain that mixes into two godlike categories that I like to call the dumb and the smart. The smart part of my brain makes me know what the word cannibalism means. And the dumb part of my brain is the one that says, what's 100 divided by 51? Is it 9? That's literally... Yeah, so subcategories, and then there are the main categories of my brain. Yeah, so that's a bit of a problem. Also, another thing is, sometimes I wonder if I have something wrong with my brain. Why I say this exactly? A lot of reasons. First of all, I am very hyper for absolutely no reason most of the time. You know, if I'm not depressed about something that I really shouldn't even be thinking about. I could just be sitting down, and then all of a sudden, my brain just says something really freaking messed up. Like, hey, you ever think in the future you're gonna be lonely? I'm 13, I shouldn't be thinking about things like this, Mr. Brain. Why do you do this to me? Yeah, things like that. I don't know why. Is there something wrong? Should I know? Should I, like, be concerned about this? Because sometimes I just ignore it, and sometimes I'm like, shush. Shush. I'm not even joking. I literally have really dark thoughts that, like, why? Why do I have to... I don't... There's no reason. There is no reason for me to think like that. And what's weird is that it just randomly happens out of nowhere. Sometimes it happens for good reason. Sometimes it just happens for no reason. Much like some of my jokes where things happen for no reason. Yeah, so... I've had to ask my mom about this a lot of times. And even some of my friends. I had to ask them if I had certain disorders or if I had something wrong with me. And the answers vary. It's either that they think I might, or that I don't at all, or yeah. I don't have a reliable source. Because... let's see. My friends, they say that I might, but they doubt it very much. Then when I ask my dad, he says, probably not. And then when I ask my mom, she says, you might have a slight form of something. So, I don't know who the heck I'm supposed to believe. And I'm not saying that everybody I know is a liar. It's just, I don't know... who's right and who's wrong, if that even is the case. Like, like, I used to actually, I might still have it, but, I remember I would always, I think I used to have a certain kind of OCD when I was like a toddler, I think. Because from what I've heard, I was kind of aggressive when it came to things being out of line. Like, I would make a block house, and then all of a sudden, one of the blocks fell, and then I would just speed race over to the room and say, who messed with it? So, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if I'm normal or not. Honestly, I don't think I should be asking that when I'm on the internet. Because I know a lot of people are probably going to say, nope, not at all. You are not normal at all. What the heck are you even? Are you an Alan? Are you an Alan from Outer Spiss? Yeah, so... I'm a somewhat happy person. I think I'm a very happy person, actually. Like, I even made a kind of a joke about, I told somebody, hey, you know what the Cheshire Cat and me have in common? We're both mischievous, and we always have smiles on our faces. Pretty much accurate. Somewhat accurate, that is. Because sometimes I have mental breakdowns. Well, I wouldn't exactly call them mental breakdowns. More like getting really overwhelmed and just crying crying a lot over things I shouldn't even be crying about. And what's even weirder is I'm a very empathetic person. Even for things that, or people that I really don't think I really should, but I do anyways. Like, I have two examples. One time I got in trouble with a bully. And I felt bad for them too, because in my brain I felt guilty because I thought I got somebody else in trouble along with myself. It's almost as if, like, I was dragging them down to the underworld with me. And that made me feel horrible. Not to mention everybody else was blaming them for it, which made me feel even worse. I mean, I even described it as nobody's innocent and nobody's guilty, because, to be honest, the reason why we got in trouble wasn't even justified. It was literally just because loud. That was it. Literally just because we were, talking way too loud. That was why. There was no fights. Nobody got hurt. Nobody died. It was just loud. That's all. And actually, we didn't even get in trouble. It was just we had to talk it out. But I feel bad for things that I really don't think I should. I overreact a lot. Like, I remember one time I saw a spider and it scared me. So I was like, oh god, what am I supposed to do? So I killed it. And then when I figured out that spider wasn't venomous, I got depressed about it. I felt so bad for a spider. I felt bad for a spider. Like, literally in my brain, I actually had an inner monologue at that moment that was like, what if that spider was happy before it died? That made me so sad. I feel bad for everything. I always feel like I've done something wrong. And yeah, I am. See, it's both a blessing and a curse. Because it's a blessing because at least I know I'm a caring person and I can actually help something or someone. And I will feel guilt for whatever happened. But it's also a curse because I feel guilt for whatever happened. Even when it wasn't my fault, or it's not even that big of a deal. Or if I didn't even do anything. I'm not even kidding. When something else happens that isn't my fault, I feel bad for it. Like, something could break, randomly. And it could be, like a storm's fault. And I would say, oh, it's all my fault. I caused the storm. Oh my god. It's like, I'm just a very empathetic person. For everything. And sometimes I kind of have to be aggressive at some points to get my point across to people. Because if they're just being really dumb and they just want to tick me off, then they're gonna get it. They're gonna, if they want me to be angry, that's what they're gonna get. And yeah, I know that, oh, if you get angry, but that's what they want. They want you to get angry so they can just keep on riling you up. Well, if I get to the breaking point, that's going to be a problem for them. Now, isn't it? Actually, sometimes I make dark jokes about stuff like that just so that people will stop. Kind of like a cautionary tale. I like cautionary tales because, you know, they teach you lessons. And what's ironic about this is that I teach people lessons, but I can't get taught a lesson myself. Play the SpongeBob disappointment noise. Doo doo. It's like somebody, like, a lot of the times, I have to chase people down while calling them out for what they've done because they don't understand that what they've done was wrong. And they blame me for it. Sometimes I believe them because sometimes what I do can be a little bit overreacting a bit. But sometimes my reaction is justified and I know that them blaming me for it is wrong. And sometimes that's when I'm a little bit less sympathetic. When I actually have to get my point across. Not across. But I still feel bad, but not to the point where I'll just break down and feel like the worst person in existence. See, when it's somebody getting hurt or killed or something bad happening to them, that makes me feel bad. But if nobody gets hurt, but the person needs to learn their lesson, but nothing like injury related, just calling them out for their mistakes and them learning from it, then that's a different story. And I'm not saying that, like, it may sound like I'm saying, I'm not empathetic when somebody messes with me. I'll beat them up for what they've done. No, I don't attack. Sometimes I fight back, but that's for self-defense. And actually, sometimes I have to scare people with, like, threats, even then, sometimes I know that I am too weak to fight someone. Like, do you see my arm? Do you see this arm? Look at, this is all bone. There's a little bit of muscle, but this is mostly bone. You think I can fight someone who's like 10 times bigger than me? No. Can't even fight someone the same size as me. I am literally brittle. If somebody punches me in the chest, that'll hurt. Like, it takes 2 punches. 1 punch, owie. 2 punch, I'm dead. I died. You died. But I can get very angry at things. Even what... I don't know what... My brain does so much weird stuff. It's either I get really sad about things I shouldn't, really happy about things I shouldn't, or really angry about things I shouldn't. Like, I already talked about the empathy thing and how I feel bad for literally everything. Now we're moving on to me being angry about certain things. Actually, I don't want to talk about this because what I think when I'm angry is kind of messed up. Like, one time I literally said I was going to hit the computer with a crowbar. I'm not even joking. I literally wanted to beat up the computer. That's not a worthy opponent. So I didn't do it. Because I know that would not be good. See, when I'm angry, it does not rationalize things until the smart part of my brain kicks in, and it's like, hey, what you're doing is really stupid. Don't do it before somebody gets hurt. I mean, the smart part of my brain kicks in most of the time. Most of the time. Keyword being most of the time. And sometimes I get really sad because of things that make me mad. And sometimes I cry so much it makes me want to throw up. Like sometimes I cry so hard that I'm gonna throw up. It could either be I'm laughing so hard to the point where I feel like I gotta throw up, or I'm crying to the point where I gotta throw up. And sometimes a mix between me being angry and sad is not a good combination, because as my face is wet with tears, my freaking veins in my head start pulsating, and I'm like, oh god, it hurts. Basically, it causes me agony every single time I get angry. So don't make me mad, and don't make me sad. Make me glad. So yeah. So now, this one's gonna sound a bit weird, but a lot of the time, I have to ask people if I have a mental disorder, because I both do and don't believe this. This is kind of the mix between my optimistic and my pessimistic side again. See, what these two sides of my brain do is they constantly think, they make me think that this isn't true or this is true. And it makes it hard for me to decide what I'm supposed to believe in. And that sucks. And I can name about, like, see the three kinds of, the four kinds of, disorders I think I might have, and I'm not saying I have them or I don't, because I am not sure. I'm not sure of anything, really. But the ones that I'm, like, on the fence about is ADHD, OCD, anxiety, or bipolar. And sometimes this is when things get very confusing for me. Because from what I hear about a lot of things, sometimes other disorders can show the signs of other ones. And a lot of the times I can't tell myself if I'm or others are a reliable source. It's hard for me to tell what is and what isn't. It's hard for me to tell what seems and what is. And that sucks, because I want to know, that way I know. That way I know what I'm supposed to do about it, what I need to change, what I need to do this. But I don't. And I can't ask anybody because everything differs to the point where I don't know who's right. So in other words, my mental state sucks. Because it constantly switches between random stuff that I shouldn't think about, or it over-rationalizes things or doesn't at all, or it makes me believe in things I really shouldn't or should, and it's bad. I don't know. Sometimes I can be really happy. Sometimes I can be really sad. I don't know if that's a sign of anything, though. That could just be normal. I don't know what is and isn't normal. So, basically, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Anything at all. Sometimes I know it's real, sometimes I know it's fake, sometimes I don't at all. And there's a lot of people that actually have, like, problems, or people that fake having problems, which, that's just messed up. There's this whole thing going on like TikTok where people are faking having mental disorders. First of all, you can tell they're fake. And second, why are you doing that to begin with? That's bad. That's messed up. I'm 13, man. I shouldn't be, like, talking about things like this. I shouldn't be talking about mental states, or people faking them, or like, I shouldn't be thinking about half of the things I do. Like, half of the things I think about are like, on one hand, they could be happy-go-lucky things, or just random things. And on the other hand, they can be really depressing, and things I shouldn't be thinking about. Like I said, having an existential crisis at the age of 13, this is not good. And yes, I'm usually happy. I'm happy right now. Well, somewhat. I mean, I just talked about something that really ticks me off, and something I actually worry about. Look, I'm not saying that I do or don't have a problem with, my brain. I'm just saying I think I might, and I think I might not, and I don't know. And what's kind of making me more scared is I'm I'm now thinking I really shouldn't upload this video because I'm not trying to get into any controversy. I'm a 13-year-old kid. I don't want to get into controversial topics. That's not what I'm trying to do. That's not what's supposed to happen. Like I said in one of my other videos, this channel is meant for my sense of humor or personal things or just my creativity, not controversy. Alright? So yeah, I don't know what's going on with my brain. This could be normal, this could be not, I don't know. If somebody has the right answer, if I do or don't, please tell me. And don't think this video is me, like, saying, oh, I have one, believe in me, or, oh, I don't have one at all. I'm this, I'm that. I'm not saying that I do or don't. I'm saying I don't know if I do or don't. So if anybody knows, if anybody knows if something is wrong with me, or if something isn't, then make sure to tell me, because I really don't know. And even though I'm, like, smiling in this video a lot, what I'm talking about isn't really, it's not making me happy. It's kind of a, it's a serious thing. I'm honestly, I'm on the fence about whether or not I have, like, a mental disorder or not. I have no idea. And I've been getting sidetracked by a lot of other things. I don't know. And somebody told me that honestly, that these personal videos, see, even though I say things like I'm trying to make my audience happy and, you know, cheerful about things, I kind of need to tell people about how things are, like, personally for me, whether they be good or bad. Because life is made up of the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I think, and I just wanted people to know that I'm clueless. I want people to know that I need answers for things, because I don't know who's a reliable source. If somebody has definitive answers and they can tell me with strong evidence and that it is the actual truth and it's not just being fake and trying to trick people, then that's fine. I need to know. Because I've been contemplating this for a while. I've been wondering, I've been thinking about this for a while. I've been wondering if there is something wrong with me. Because I think I might have, like, low self-esteem issues. Because a lot of the times I doubt myself for a lot of things. Like, I doubt things are going to work for me. I doubt that I'm going to be able to do things. I just doubt myself for a lot of stuff. And that's not helped by the fact that other people doubt me a lot. Like, they doubt I'll do something they tell me to do, or they doubt that I'll ever change who I am, which that's not really what I want to do in the first place. I don't think that's what anybody wants to do. Don't change who you are. Be yourself. Be your own you. Don't copy somebody else. Don't let people get you down. And I let that happen a lot to myself. I really shouldn't, but sometimes I let people tell me things that make me feel bad. Like, sometimes people get my hopes up, and they keep them up there. Sometimes they keep my hopes up and they just crash them down. And sometimes they just tell me, you're never going to succeed at this. But there are people that actually try helping me out with things when they actually give me, like, clues about what I'm supposed to do, when they actually give me instructions. Not to be mean, but to help me out with things. But there are people that make me doubt myself. Mostly like bullies I have, or even myself. But I really don't know. I don't know if I have any sort of problem. I don't know if I have any, like, complexes, or if I have any disorders, if I have anything wrong with me in any way. I really don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure of it. And I'm not saying I am sure of everything. I'm not, oh, I'm right. I'm not gonna say that. I'm never gonna say that. Because I don't know everything. Even though I might be smart, that doesn't mean I know everything. I don't know the meaning of life. I don't know the answers to the universe. I don't know if God exists or not. I don't know anything. I hear facts, and I hear beliefs, I hear all this. And yes, I do believe in things, but at the same time, my brain doubts certain things, and it believes in certain things at the exact same time, and that bothers me. But sometimes I do keep my hopes up, and I don't let people bring me down. But I really don't. I don't know. See, here's the thing. It's either me not believing in myself, or me believing in myself, or just me not believing people, or believing them. I have beliefs, I have facts, I have thoughts, everything. I have all of that. It's just that it's hard for me to tell what's right and what's wrong. I mean, like, once again, I'm going to talk about the whole optimistic and pessimistic thing. This one's more on a religious side, about how I think about the afterlife. And this one's going to probably make me cry on camera, because I remember one time I had a breakdown over this. See, with my optimistic side, which most of the time I actually believe in that side, and this one I actually... Look, so, with my optimistic side, it says that, yes, heaven and hell do exist, and, of course, with heaven, if you're a good person, you're going up there. If you're bad... Yeah, so, I do believe in that one. But at the same time, my pessimistic side bleeds into that side, saying that, oh, when you're dead, you're dead. That's all. This is probably the most depressing video I've ever made. It's the most depressing thing I've ever thought of to begin with. And like I said, I shouldn't be thinking about things like that. I still have a whole life ahead of me. I shouldn't be thinking about death. At this age, I'm 13. I should be thinking about death when I'm like a shriveled old raisin. When I'm like a pile of bones I'm a dusty pile of bones in space. That's when I should be thinking about death. Not when I'm still developing, when I'm still a kid. I shouldn't be thinking about death when I'm a teen. I shouldn't be having an existential crisis at this age. And I am. Sometimes, I need my brain to shut up at certain points. Because, I mostly believe in my optimistic side. But when the pessimistic side bleeds in, everything becomes chaotic, and not the good kind. And it irks me so much, and I just tell my brain, shut up! In my brain, my inner monologue has to yell at them just to be quiet so I can just live on my life instead of fearing everything or believing in everything that might not be true, because I don't know. I don't know when death is approaching. I don't know if heaven and hell exist. And even then, I do believe that they do. It's just I don't know if they do. And I strongly believe that they do. It's just that there's so many things that, like, make me fear everything. Like, whether it be videos I watch about facts about, like, death or something, or just other things like that. They make me fear everything. And it doesn't help that, like I said, I might have anxiety, I might have, like, paranoia or something like that. That doesn't help that I might have that, too, because that just makes it a heck of a lot worse. I remember one time, I was so overwhelmed and so stressed about so much stuff that I nearly had a panic attack. I think I was having a panic attack to begin with. Because my vision was getting all blurry, my hands were getting all shaky, it felt like my chest was closing in, everything was just, like, fading out. I felt like I was going to pass out at that very moment. Yeah, so, another thing, that's another sort of fact that I might, well, not a fact, but that makes me think I might have, like, anxiety or paranoia or something like that. Because I'm always awkward, I'm always scared, I'm always fearing about so many things. I'm scared of death, I'm scared of, like, being watched, I'm scared of, like, darkness, I'm scared of all this stuff. And it bothers me a lot, because, oh shoot, I'm crying, oh god. Oh, Jesus, my eyes are watering right now. Shoot, I'm making myself cry, man. Because I don't know if there is something wrong with me. And, like I said, I shouldn't fear death. Because you should live life. Don't fear death. Don't let your fears overtake you. But the problem is that happens to me. And even though that does happen, I still live a happy life. I still have a whole life ahead of me. I shouldn't be thinking about things like this, and I do. It's so bad, man. Oh, I think about, like, I fear, like, in my brain, the darker parts of my brain think about things like you could do something wrong, things could happen, things bad could happen. Death could be approaching. There's somebody watching you outside your window. Look at all these past experiences you've had. Look at how horrible they all were. Like, things like that. I want to focus more on the happy side of my brain, but you can't just switch your brain and go, hey, do this. Your brain is your brain. It makes you think. As far as I know, you can't control your brain. Your brain controls you. And that's the problem, because like I said, I have two sides of my brain, the happy and the bad, the positive and the pessimistic. And that's what bothers me. Because sometimes I think about so many depressing things or so many happy things that I don't know what I'm supposed to believe. So, yeah, so this was a very depressing and personal video for me to make. I nearly cried just a second ago. If you have the answers to whether or not I might have a disorder or something like that, tell me, please. If I have, like, depression or something, please tell me, because I think about so many bad things, man. And I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But think of so many, like, traumatizing things that have happened to me, or things that might happen. And this isn't fake either. I'm actually... This isn't like a fake, like, stupid, like, you know, those apology videos where these guys, they, like, spray water in their eyes and they're like, I'm so sad, man. You can't, you don't believe how sad I am. Go ahead and subscribe. Like, I'm not doing that. This is how I feel. This is how I feel about, you know, how things are, and they're really bothering me. And yeah, I know people don't want to see sad videos, and you don't have to watch this if you don't want, but it's just... I just want people to know how I feel. That way they know I'm not just some goofy kid who makes stupid stuff because he's a weird kid. I want people to know that I'm just a kid who comes up with really weird, creative stuff, who has very sad thoughts, who just wants people to help him out. Just wants people to let him know that he might be okay or he might not. And if you say I'm not, then that's fine. I'll just figure out what the problem is. I just want to know. So yeah. Just really, like, once again, a list of, like, I can tell you much more about the more depressing things I think of, like, again, I shouldn't be thinking about my future that much. I mean, the weird thing is that even though I'm in the present, and yes, I do look around and see the present, I still think a lot about the past and the future. I don't even know what the future is going to be like. I'm still a clueless kid who doesn't know what lies ahead of him in the future. But yet, I still think about things like if I'll ever find love in the future, or if I'll ever be successful in the future, if I'll have a good job that pays a lot of money in the future. I don't know. But yet my brain still crams these thoughts into my head like, hey, look, you want to think about this, don't you? Look at this. Screw living in the present. Look at the future. Look at how horrible it might be. Like, I don't want to think about that. And, yeah, another thing is that I think this happens to everybody, but... Alright, I'm trying to make myself a little bit happier, but this is still very sad for me to think about, let alone talk about. There's just, like, sometimes my nightmares, even my nightmares and dreams, make me think horrible things in the future. And what's weird is, how I would describe my nightmares is absurdly unnerving. Like, they shouldn't make sense, and they shouldn't be scary, but they are. And they make me feel horrible. And the weird thing is that these nightmares, they don't even make sense. Yet they make me feel fear. I mean, yeah, that's what a nightmare is. It's just that these ones are so weird. They're, like, cryptic. Like, there's one that made me so scared I couldn't go back to sleep. And it was one of those dreams that, yet again, this makes me feel like I might have paranoia or some sort of anxiety. Because this nightmare was that there was this, like, half man, half dog thing just standing outside of my window during a thunderstorm. And each time the lightning struck, he would get closer until his hands were pressed against the window. And then he started knocking at the door. And then once I saw him in the peephole, his eye was, like, right up to the thing. And then he entered the house, and that caused us to have to move out. And then he followed us to where we moved, and he was doing the exact same thing, except he was getting way worse. That nightmare scared me so much that I had to peep out my window to make sure nothing was there. So I think of really depressing things. I fear the future, I fear the past, but I look back and I see the horrible things, but at the same time I look back and I see happy things. It's just, my mind is constantly switching between all these different emotions all the freaking time, and it's so annoying. But I don't know if this is bad or if this is... I don't know if this is bad or good. I don't know if this is normal or not. I don't know if something is wrong or not. I don't know what's going on. That's why I made this video, to make sure I get the answers to these questions. I want to know whether I have a mental disorder or not. I want to know whether these are normal emotions that I'm having. If this has happened to somebody else you know, or you personally. It's really bothering me, and it's been going on for a while. After this video, I'm gonna try and calm myself down. I'm gonna probably watch a couple videos that'll probably make me happy. Then I might upload some other videos that aren't this depressing. But, for now, I'm just looking back on all the stuff I really shouldn't be thinking about. Yeah, so... I will see you all later. Make sure to comment on this video if the comments are turned on. And just give me information. Alright, bye.